Now you, Swan Boy 55, take this Goomba as your partner and promise to love them forever and ever. I do. And you, Goomba, do you promise to forever and ever love Swan Boy 55?
I don't.
You may now kiss the bride.
Later.
I'm a lying piece of shit, daddy.
Say it again.
I'm a lying piece of shit, daddy.
Say it.
I'm a lying piece of shit, daddy. I'm a lying piece of shit, daddy.
Super Mario Party Jamboree poses one of the hardest questions any person should ever have to answer. Is it perfect? Because throughout the entire playthrough of this game, I kept loving it more and more. But was it enough to say that it's flawless? Before we can get to this conclusion, we have to talk about the game. And there is a lot to talk about. Loading into Jamboree, we get introduced to one of the most diverse rosters I've personally ever seen in a Mario Party. We got the classics, some returning members from Super Mario Party, and 2 new characters to the Mario Party series, which are Pauline and Nipple Button Man Ninja. I was sort of familiar with Pauline, but I've only seen Ninja from Super Mario Maker 2, representing the ghosts of other players during speedrun competitions. He has actually appeared in many forms of media, like Paper Mario Sticker Star, which I don't even remember. I've beat the damn game. He's also appeared in Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, plus Bowser's Jr.'s Journey, which gives me even more of a reason to check it out. And if you have never played Bowser's Inside Story, play it. How did this get here? With all of these characters at our disposal, there is only one character with my name on it, the Goomba. I don't know why I love the Goomba so much, but you'll understand when you play as him because he is perfect. We select him and enter the party plaza, where we can get ready before we head off in our hot air balloon. In the party plaza, we have the guide toad, which allows us to change our settings. We have the online terminal that lets us go online. We have a bunch of shops to go through, like the reaction shop that lets us buy reactions, the Mario Party card shop that allows us to customize our Mario Party card to however we want, and we have the music shop that allows us to listen to this game's soundtrack. The shops are cool, with the reaction shop being my favorite. The Mario Party card shop is not a necessity for me, as although it's a nice way to be able to express yourself, it's not expressive enough for my tastes. The music shop is important, but I have YouTube, so I'm using that. The data house stores important shit like the battle pass, or as it's actually called, the reward system, where each achievement equals a reward. The achievements are not that hard, and you only need 50 achievements to complete the whole battle pass, so it's very easy, very simple, and it's cool. The most important levels are 10, 20, and 30, as they give you access to certain maps, but otherwise, it's just extra rewards. Another thing to mention about the data house, you have access to the album, where you're able to take photos while inside of the hot air balloon of certain characters doing things. It's a gimmicky feature, doesn't take away from the game, but it was really not needed. We have the rankings, which allows you to see how other players have placed during certain minigames and through the 4 rankable game modes. It's fun to see how skillful players are, but some of these fucking high scores, man. Finally, we have the Party Planner Trek, which acts as the story mode in this game. And it's beautiful. You play through 5 boards, helping Kamek set up the Mario Party boards before they get partied in, where you complete tasks around the board and get mini stars. It makes the most sense to use them, especially since when you complete the board, collecting 30 mini stars, you fight a boss battle with allies if you help them during your time on the board. And like the boss fights in Mario Party 9 and 10, they're mediocre. My favorite one was the Sumo Bro fight, where you connect paths from the top to bottom and the distance increases over time. And although these boss fights are mediocre, they still have some charm to them, like Mario Party 9 and 10. Like, yeah, those 2 aren't the best in the series, but they tried something cool and different, they just completely messed up. Overall, Party Planner Trek is a nice addition to the game and is a blast to play through. Heading into the hot air balloon, we finally get to the main parts of the game. Mario Party, which is what most people come to expect, comes with 7 boards. 5 of them are original and the other 2 are from previous games. You can either play with CPUs or with random people, and can choose to play with party rules or pro rules. Party rules are just basic Mario Party, nothing new here. Pro rules, however, make some pretty big changes to the rule set. In a nutshell, it pretty much removes most RNG out of the game and makes winning take a lot more skill. Some notable examples are knowing what the bonus star is before the game starts, and being able to choose an item. Spaces have guaranteed results, for example the lucky space giving you the choice of either 10 coins or a double dice. All items in the shop have a limited number available, hidden blocks and chance time don't exist anymore, and you vote for which minigame you want to play, to name a few. I do think that they did a pretty good job creating a competitive rule set for Mario Party, and while it's enjoyable to play, nothing beats playing normal Mario Party and getting absolutely eviscerated by RNG. The final new thing that they have added are Jamboree Buddies, which is a revamped version of the ally mechanic from Super Mario Party, and I don't know whether I like them or not. Jamboree Buddies appear every 5 turns, are there for 3 turns, or when you visit them. But unlike Super Mario Party, everyone gets a chance to get the buddy through a unique minigame related to that character. Nothing wrong with how they executed this. The issue comes with the benefits that they bring. Each character has a unique effect that they bring to the table. These are pretty good, but nothing too overpowered. The real problem for me comes with what their passive ability is, which is double everything. Double red, blue, green spaces, double item shop, and most importantly, double stars. So whoever is able to get the Jamboree Buddy can really change the game around, especially if they get someone with a pretty good ability, like Luigi with maxing out dice rolls and Peach with having stars. But it was handled way better than in Super Mario Party. Onto the boards, starting with the original ones, we start off with Mega Wiggler's Tree Party. They used to call my dick the Mega Wiggler. Okay, I'll leave. The main concept for this board is the big ass wiggler in the middle who acts like a pathway. When you ring the bell, either as an item or landing on an event space, he changes positions and becomes an alternate path. There is also a chance that he becomes angry, which will change the spaces on top of him to red and Bowser spaces, making it more dangerous to cross over. Some notable event spaces on the board are the Piranha Plant, who will steal your coins and progressively steal more and more the more you land on him. There is also the Spike Beekeeper, who gives you a chance to earn some coins or to get your ass stung. This board is your typical foresty Mario Party board, and while it's above average, it's just that. Roll'em Raceway, as the name suggests, puts you into a circuit race course where you loop around the board to get stars. The stars can only be bought in 2 locations where they alternate when you buy one. This board features an exclusive item, the Turbo Dice, which allows you to roll 4 dice, with the catch that you can't interact with any board events, including buying a star. Depending on where you use the Turbo Dice, it can help you traverse around the board faster and give you an advantage. Personally, I don't like not being able to interact with the board, so using the triple dice is fine by me. The event spaces on this board are the jump pads that give you a shortcut, getting pushed along the course by a bruiser, temporarily swapping the jump pad locations in item shops with the swap machine, and the dice stop, which fills your inventory with a variety of dices for 10 coins. This board genuinely might be my favorite board in a Jamboree because 1, playing in a race course is epic as hell, and 2, the star alternating locations makes the board more simple to play, as instead of having to predict where the star will be, is guaranteed to be in the same 2 spots, making for an easier time overall, which is something that I want as Mario Party can get very frustrating. Rainbow Galleria, set inside a shopping mall, was a weird experience for me. When I first saw Rainbow Galleria, the board looked so fun to play on, and when it came out, the reality was slightly different. I still think the board is pretty fun, but I really don't find the verticality of the board to be enjoyable, which is a weird complaint since the board is a literal mall, but still, it slightly ruins the board for me. But even with that in mind, there is a lot to love, like the abundance of event spaces. You have the last place shop, which only allows you to shop there if you are in last place. The super shop allows you to buy items with super in them, like the super dueling glove. The gold shop lets you buy gold items. The thrift store forces you to sell an item and get coins equal to twice the original price. The boo shop lets you buy boo bells, and the raffle shop allows you to participate in a drawing to get an assortment of rewards of varying price. With all the sporadic placements of these shops, it brings life into the board and makes it feel like an actual mall, especially with the flash sale happening every 5 turns, which causes all items and stars to be sold at half price. Some more cool things that are included on the board are the Koopa Troopa stamp stations, which are placed around the board and gives you coins depending on how much you have. Then there's the elevator. Finally, the unique item of this board is the markup sticker, which can be used on your opponents to fuck them over and cause them to be able to only buy items and stars at double the price for 1 turn. Although this board wasn't as spectacular as I thought it would be through the trailer, it's definitely not a bad board and has some charm to it. Goomba Lagoon is a large tropical island that has a volcano that is shaped like a Goomba. This board is already a 10 out of 10. Moving on, being serious, this board has some enjoyable aspects, like the treasure chest allowing you to get a free item with no effort since the Goomba doesn't even try to make it a challenge. The fishing spot can net you some cool coins, the zip line can give you shortcuts, and even making the volcano erupt is spectacular, as either lava bubbles or golden Goombas come out, and walking over them causing you to lose 3 coins or gain 5 coins respectively. Sounds like it's an amazing board, which would be the case normally, but what's throwing me off is the tide mechanic, where every few turns the board gets submerged, making traversing the board near impossible as all of the bridges are underwater. And while there are ways to change this, like with the tide shell and landing on specific event spaces, if you don't have either of these at your disposal, you're kinda fucked. Playing the board a bit has made me hate it not as much, but I'm still on the fence whether I like it or not. The final original board in Jamboree is King Bowser's Keep. It takes place above a giant castle with Imposter Bowser standing in the center of the board, starting with the middle of the map where Mr. Imposter Bowser resides. This section, the Bowser Byway, forces you to move in a certain direction, where changing the direction can only be done through event spaces or using the Bowser Byway lever, a unique item on this map. On the Bowser Byway, you can interact with the gear, which either gives you coins or a big bomb to the face. Every 3 turns, Bowser will turn 2 random spaces on the Byway into Bowser spaces, with this happening until turn 24, where he will stop adding new Bowser spaces. Onto the rest of the map, there are 2 types of pipes located throughout the map. The green pipes, which take you to the beginning of the board, and the red pipe, which takes you to the bottom of the Bowser Byway. The Mecha Koopa spaces where rolling higher than their current health awards you with coins, and rolling lower will take coins away from you. And finally, Bowser's Giant Vault, which starts out with 10 coins, but will house any stars and coins that are taken by Bowser from Bowser Space events, which is such a fire feature. But then again, you have to guess a 2-digit passcode, so if you can't guess it in time, you're fucked. Still cool regardless. This map isn't necessarily bad, as it has a lot of cool concepts being shown here, and for the most part, a good time can be had here. Onto the returning boards, we have Westernland, originally coming from Mario Party 2. Set in a town in the Wild West, this board is huge. Fun fact, the original Westernland has a total of 114 spaces, making it the largest board in the Mario Party series that follows traditional gameplay. And even in the Jamboree version of the board that removes 10 spaces, it's the 2nd largest board in the game, with the 3rd being Shy Guy's Jungle Jam from Mario Party 4. The main mechanic is the train, or as it's called in game, the steamer. To ride it, you have to pay a fee and either move forward or backwards depending on what you roll. And if anyone happens to be in front of you while you're on that train, let's just say they won't be your opponent anymore. They actually just get launched back to the start, which is still pretty funny. Some other notable features of this board are the steamer ticket, which can be bought from the ticket shop, where each subsequent purchase increases the price. Using the ticket at a station will call the steamer to that station if it's not there. Although the board is very big, the game presents many ways to traverse around the board easily through the steamers and spread out pathways, and is pretty fun overall. The final board in Super Mario Party Jamboree is Mario's Rainbow Castle, originating from the original Mario Party, and is heavily based off of the secret wing cap areas in Super Mario 64. This board is the simplest board out of the bunch, where it only requires you to reach the end of the board to get the star, with 2 pathways along the way. The main feature is how the board is double-sided, technically speaking. Whenever you use the item shop, it switches from Toad to Kamek and vice versa. And at the end of the board, it switches from Toad to Imposter Bowser, vice versa. Reaching the end to Toad allows you to buy a star, to Bowser it forces you to buy a star, which doesn't take away any stars from you, but it does take away your coins as if you were actually buying a star normally. To prevent you from getting screwed over from Bowser, you either need to buy a tower turner, which has a chance of swapping Toad and Bowser in the tower, or land on an event space that will swap them. This board is great, simple, and has enough to keep you on your toes. Continuing on, similarly to Super Mario Party, there is a bunch of fun content that can be had without actually playing Mario Party, like Motion Island. Motion Island features 3 modes that make use of the Joy-Con's motion controls. Rhythm Kitchen, a mode very similar to Soundstage from Super Mario Party, is where you play rhythm-based minigames based around the theme of cooking. And instead of competing for the high score, your goal is to work together to get the highest rating from 3 Yoshi judges. As with Soundstage, Rhythm Kitchen is a memorable mode that has some replayability, with most of the minigames being very enjoyable to play. And if you're playing with the CPU, know that they play perfectly. So if you want to become the master chef and get 5 stars, you better not choke. Ladies and gentlemen, Chef Boy 55 is in the fucking couch. You can tell I'm a chef because I have a chef attire. Anyways, we're locked in. No more fucking around. No more resetting. No more none of that bullshit. Right here, right fucking now. This is where we win. I'm a chef now. I'm Chef Boy 55. It's happening. We get the win right here with the beanie. Yo! Rhythm Kitchen is a perfect addition to Jamboree, and I'm happy to see a return from Super Mario Party. Toad's Item Factory seems like the most out of place thing in Jamboree, and yet it's so fucking fun to play. When playing single player, each Joy-Con controls either the blue or red pieces, and you'll need to perform a variety of actions to get the ball to the goal, like pushing, tilting, blowing, sucking, and putting it through a hole. That sounded a lot more sexual than it needed to be. The early levels are simple and enjoyable, but later on they drastically ramp up in difficulty. Especially with that last level, I was going through it. No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Just don't fuck up, just don't fuck up, just don't fuck up. Will I replay this? Probably not. Was it fun? Definitely. Paratroopa Flight School might arguably be the worst thing in Jamboree. The whole concept of Paratroopa Flight School is that you have to flap your arms in real life to control your character. It's pretty cool the first time you do it, but after that you feel like a moron. And holy shit did it tire my arms out. There are 3 game modes. Sky Battle, where 2 players compete to try to get as many Parabitty Buds as possible within the time limit, with the ability to steal your opponent's Bud Lights as well. Might be fun with a friend, but I don't think I could convince them to play this shit. Koopa Paratroopa Taxi requires you and a partner to carry characters to locations on the map. It's not that bad, but I have more fun playing this when I'm not flopping my arms like a dumbass, which defeats the whole purpose of the mode, but I don't care. Finally, there's Free Flight, where you're able to freely fly around the map and can do some side activities like collect coins, draw a heart, and light the lighthouse. It's fun, I guess. This whole mode is butt, and yet has a certain charm to it that I love. Still can't recommend anyone play this mode though. Motion Island has a bunch of bangers, even including Paratroopa Flight School. And while this would make Jamboree a solid game, there's still more modes that we haven't talked about yet that makes this Mario Party arguably one of the best in the series. Grouped up as Bowser challenges, we have Koopathon and Bowser Kaboom Squad. Koopathon returns from Mario Party Star Rush, which I haven't personally played yet, and Koopathon actually shares most things from Star Rush. You play minigames centered around collecting coins, where getting 1 coin advances you 1 space, and 150 coins completes a lap around the board. Collecting coins fills up a meter that either helps you or screws over the person in front of you. The only main differences from Star Rush's Coinathon and Koopathon are that after playing the 3rd minigame, you fight against Imposter Bowser, where winning gets you an item to use, and losing will knock you back spaces depending on what place you are in. The second main difference is that instead of 4 players, there are 20, which makes this mode to me feel like playing Mario Kart and Mario Party. There are 9 minigames that can be selected from and 5 that can be chosen to survive against Bowser, and it's a blast. Most minigames in this mode are either fun as fuck or fun enough to where I really don't have a complaint. Except for Golden Brown, this minigame is mediocre. And the Imposter Bowser minigames are very stressful, as they could be the sole reason you don't get first, or even a good placement for that matter. The best part about this mode is that you're able to go up against real players, making this a challenging fun time that won't get boring soon. The other mode is Bowser Kaboom Squad, where you and 7 other players have to nuke the shit out of Imposter Bowser through delivering bombs to shoot at him. And in between rounds, you play cooperative minigames, where the better you do, the better rewards you get. These minigames remind me a lot of Super Mario Party's River Survival minigames, where the better rank you get, the more time you receive. What makes it harder in Jamboree is that there are 8 players instead of 4, increasing the margin of error. And all of the minigames are really fun, my favorite being Juice Works, a minigame where your team gets split into 3 to make apple juice. I fucking love apple juice. The only times the minigame gets frustrating is when your teammates throw, which is hard since these minigames have very simple premises. Which doesn't matter when your teammates have crayons 6 inches in their noses. Apart from that, the mode is pretty good, the minigames are the standout point, and the actual main gameplay is alright, nothing to rave about. I'll probably play it every so often, but it exists. and that's Super Mario Party Jamboree. With everything I've discussed throughout the game, let's return to the original question of, is it perfect? And to me, although it has some flaws, some modes feeling like filler, and some mechanics feeling overpowered, in the perspective of this being a Mario Party game, it's perfect to me. Is it the best in the series? I can't answer that yet, as I have a third of the games to go through. But for the time being, I think Jamboree is a contender for the best in the series, and might even topple Mario Party 4. And as always, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care, my friends.